Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Well, CNN continues to show how totally out of touch they are with the majority of the American people who are concerned about terrorists taking advantage of the refugee program and coming into this country. This is CNN anchor Allison Camerata. She was speaking with Representative Sean Duffy when she said that the public should be worried more about lightning than Islamic terror. Basically saying that more people are killed by lightning strikes in the U.S. than, of course, ISIS is killed. You know, and this is something that libertarians, other people have been talking about for at least a decade, probably more, since 9/11, and they're forcing us to go through the TSA, and we're saying, you know, we're more likely to get struck by lightning than by a terrorist. But it used to be true. This is no longer true. So only actually 38 Americans were killed by lightning in 2016. Many more killed by ISIS since then. And this is what Sean Duffy basically told Ms. Camerata. He said, listen, I'll just tell you, if you go to the gay nightclub in Orlando and talk about what this means to the community, and you want to compare that terror attack to lightning, or go to Boston and talk to anyone who was involved in the Boston Marathon bombing, have been bombed by radical Islamic terrorists, they're not going to be very happy with that conversation. So lightning is random, but this is purposeful. This is people coming after you, attacking your communities, killing you. And then so she kind of snapped back. Well, I talked to people in Orlando after the Pulse nightclub shooting, and they said love was what was the solution. And he just kind of said, you know what? Look, love doesn't quell the hearts of radical terrorists. I'm sorry, lady. And so this is in addition to what a whistleblower out of the State Department is actually kind of confirming what Duffy was talking about, just saying this refugee program is full of fraud. She says she supports President Donald Trump's executive order temporarily halting the admission of refugees from these hostile nations. But she says she doesn't think that this action goes far enough. Now, she worked in the State Department, 25-year veteran. She also worked as a refugee coordinator throughout the Middle East, Africa, Russia, and Cuba. So she's seen firsthand the abuse and fraud that permeates this refugee program. And she said, despite these claims that we have this enhanced vetting, the fact is people are coming from nations they have no official record. It's virtually impossible to vet what they're telling you. And often U.S. immigration officials rely simply on the person's often rehearsed and fabricated testimony. She's personally seen it on hundreds of occasions. And of course, we have plenty of examples of this with other terror attacks that have taken place in Europe. They use fake IDs. Those are vital for terror networks, fake passports found in Greek refugee camps. The terror suspects in Europe were getting welfare benefits while they're plotting these attacks because they were using many different names. We have a lot of these refugees using fake beards and glasses to go into the welfare offices and commit welfare fraud. So we know that they're doing this and they're giving this fake testimony. Perfect example with this most recent rapist in Sweden who got a lesser sentence because he said he was only 17 at the time, even though he told the officials initially that he was actually 18, but then he changed his story and they took him on his word. So now we had in 2015 FBI Director James Comey basically underscoring that, saying the vetting of refugees was virtually impossible. And Director of National Intelligence James Clapper is on the record saying, I don't obviously put it past the likes of ISIL to infiltrate operatives among these refugees. That's a huge concern of theirs. Hillary Clinton as well, text of a speech discovered she gave in 2013, where she admitted that jihadists are coming in along with legitimate refugees. Despite this knowledge, she still went on to ramp up and increase by 550% the amount of refugees that had already been admitted by the Obama administration. And this whistleblower here, Mary Deutsch, she just goes on to talk about many inconsistencies, lapses in this program. And under the Obama administration, they just continued to expand it blindly without any thought of the repercussions of this, without any worry. And so this is why Donald Trump wanted to kind of defend his temporary travel ban. So he released a list of 24 terror suspects that have been allowed into the U.S. from these banned countries. And this is to contradict the assertion of that Seattle judge James Robart, who halted the executive order, who said since 9/11, there have been 0 arrests as far as he could tell from terrorists. But indeed, here is a list of at least 24 individuals who've all been arrested on terror charges, and the majority of them were convicted.
In case you haven't heard, Infowars has become the most influential media outlet in America. We're making freedom go viral. And now we are proud to announce a new weapon in the epic battle against the globalists. Infowars Prime, where you can watch live high-definition feeds of The Alex Jones Show, plus exclusive insider videos from the Infowars crew and behind-the-scenes action. Go to Infowars.com/app and download today. Infowars Prime is available right now for your iPhone or Android. You will have access to exclusive videos that you can't see anywhere else. And that means live coverage of events and breaking news on location as it happens. You can also take advantage of amazing deals from the Infowars store that are only available for Infowars Prime subscribers. That's Infowars Prime at Infowars.com/app. And if you can hear my voice, you are the resistance.